Hey everybody, Pastor Steven Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. And on March 31st, 2018 is the Soul Winning Mega Marathon. We're going to have soul winning going on in all 50 states and in many foreign countries as well. But at this time, we're just organizing the 50 states. We'll be talking more about the foreign countries in January. But this map right here shows a visual representation of where the soul winning marathons are going to take place in each of the 50 states. So this kind of helps you to get an idea of kind of where the gaps are and where people are going to go to get to their closest marathon. Because the closest marathon to you might not necessarily be in your state, because some of these are pretty close to the border. So I'm going to go through each of these right now. I'm going to start up here in the top left corner and just explain where all the soul winning marathons are. So for the state of Washington, we're going to have one in Seattle and also one in Spokane. Then there's going to be one right here in Portland, Oregon. Then as we move down to California, there's going to be one in Sacramento. This is obviously Verity Baptist Church. We got FWBC LA and El Monte. But then Faithful Word Baptist Church is also going to be hosting one in San Diego, California, pretty close to El Cajon. All right, then as we look at Nevada, it's going to be in Reno. Idaho, it's going to be in Boise. Montana, it's going to be in Great Falls. Utah, it's going to be in Salt Lake City. Arizona, we're going to have the main one that our church is putting on in Avondale, which is just to the west of Phoenix, like 25 minutes from the church. And then Pastor Dave Berzins is going to be doing one up in the city of Meyer, a couple hours north. And then our church is also going to be holding one down in Tucson, Arizona as well. Okay, moving over here to New Mexico. Now, right now, tentatively, the Soul Winning Marathon in New Mexico is scheduled for Hobbs. But that might change. That one's still a little bit up in the air. It may end up moving to the Navajo reservation. But, if you live in New Mexico, let us know, because, you can help influence that decision as well. Wherever the most interest is, that's where we're holding these events. So that one still could change. But if it's in Hobbs, then that would also help cover this West Texas area as well. Speaking of Texas, we're going to have one in Fort Worth, Texas. Pastor Donnie Romero is putting one on in Steadfast Baptist Church. Down in San Antonio, Old Path Baptist Church. And then there's another one over in Houston that's going to be happening. So 3 for Texas. There's going to be one in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Colorado Springs, Colorado. And then Cheyenne, Wyoming. So if you're in Denver, you could pretty much take your pick of the Colorado Springs Marathon or the Cheyenne, Wyoming. And if you're north of Denver, you're definitely going to want to go to Cheyenne. Brother Jonathan Shelley from our church is flying out to Cheyenne, and he's going to be running that thing in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That would cover also northern Colorado. Okay, then we've got, did we mention Great Falls, Montana? Then we've got Fargo, North Dakota. I know people from Manitoba, Canada are planning on coming down to that one as well. For South Dakota, we've got Sioux Falls. So with Sioux Falls, this would cover South Dakota, but also if you're in southwestern Minnesota, you could come to the Sioux Falls Marathon. Also keep in mind that the Iowa Marathon is all the way in Davenport, Iowa. So if you're living in the western part of Iowa, you're probably either going to want to go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or possibly you could go to the one in Omaha, Nebraska, okay? And then moving on down here, we've got Wichita, Kansas, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, New Orleans, Louisiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, St. Louis, Missouri, and then, like I said, Davenport, Iowa, and also just right across the river in Rock Island, Illinois. So this Quad Cities area, there are going to be soul winners on both sides of the state line there. Up here, we've got Minneapolis, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then, let's see here, Rochester, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky. Tennessee has 2 different soul winning marathons going on. It's a big state. So on the western part of the state, we've got Humboldt, Tennessee with Brother Wesley Tomlinson, Pastor Wesley Tomlinson. And then in Knoxville, with Pastor McCraney, All Scripture Baptist Church. Then moving our way down, we've got Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Louisiana, Birmingham, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. 2 for Florida. We got Jacksonville for North Florida, and we've got Miami for Southern Florida. Columbia, South Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, near the coast, Richmond, Virginia, Fairmont, West Virginia, that's Pastor Jason Robinson, Baltimore, Maryland, Newcastle, Delaware, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then right here is going to be Hackensack, New Jersey, and Bronx, New York. And those are organized through People's Baptist Church in Clifton, New Jersey. And I think Brother Peter James is the guy to talk to get details on that. And then we've got New Haven, Connecticut right here, Providence, Rhode Island. Then in Massachusetts, there's going to be a group that's meeting near the border here with Vermont. Part of the group's going to go to Brattleboro, Vermont, and the other part's going to go to Greenfield, Massachusetts. We've got Manchester, New Hampshire, and then Lewiston, Maine. So New England is pretty concentrated. I mean, there are a lot of soul winning marathons going on, but this is very heavily concentrated with population as well. So it's good that there are going to be a lot of different options here. Plus, you don't want to pay like $1 million in tolls to drive from place to place here. So tons of options in New England. That's going to make it nice and convenient. Okay, so moving west again here. Port Washington, Ohio. Pastor Patrick Boyle is in this part of Ohio where you see the pin. And then we got Detroit, Michigan, Rochester, Indiana. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? I think that's it, right? So anyway, as you can see, there are... how could I forget? Hawaii. We've got Honolulu, Hawaii. And this is not where Hawaii is, but on this map, this is where it is. So we got Honolulu, Hawaii, and Anchorage, Alaska. So anyway, as you can see, we've got all 50 states covered. Some of them even have multiple locations, like 3 in California, 3 in Arizona, 3 in Texas, 2 in Washington, and so 2 in Florida. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be unprecedented. And now that we've got these 50 states pretty much organized, we're starting to think now about international and getting organized in as many different countries as we can, where we have people who listen to our sermons or are friends of our movement. So anyway, plan to be a part of it no matter where you live. There's no excuse. You say, it's too far. Be willing to go a few hours to get to your nearest soul winning marathon on March 31st. Be a part of it. It's history in the making. God bless. Have a great day.